Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims. You're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is June 1st, 2020, and we here at GSL, we are 2 months old. So, shout out to us, being 2 months. However, let's go ahead and get into it, friends. Today, the topic is about our elders. Yes, elders is the topic of today. Friends. Okay, so long story short, y'all, over the weekend, I came across a post that was very, very disturbing. It started off disturbing just because the individual felt the need to, hype people up. Saying some things along the lines of like, I'm not going to tell people how to protest, so, people should do whatever their spirit leads, X, Y, and Z, right? So that was already like crossing the line for me, just because this whole, everything that's been going on, and we talked about spirits and things like that the other day, so that kind of already struck a chord with me when I saw that, because I'm saying like, nah, we shouldn't let everybody lead with whatever spirit is leading them, because everybody's spirit ain't. Let me stop right there, because we're gonna stick to elders. but yeah, so that was the first thing that person said. So I was sitting there like, really? So of course people are commenting on this post and responding, I guess, in the way that I was like, really? And this person goes to tell the individual like, hey, what are you talking about? Like, the protest of our ancestors did it back in the day. Like, that stuff was organized. People actually, they trained to protest and everything like that. Like, what you talking about is something else, right? And this person goes around and starts to say like the most disrespectful stuff, in my opinion, in regards to our elders. And long story short, this person starts to say things along the lines of like, well, those basically like the elders or the people before us failed us, and that's why we're in the situation we are in now. And as if the people before us did nothing, and everything like that. And so to me, I was kind of baffled by the whole thing, because I'm like, is this person serious? Like, so you just go ignore everything that previous people have done, people that have paved the way, people that have raised us, you know what I'm saying, to get to the place that we are, in spite of all the difficulties and the things that they went through to get here. You're just going to ignore all of that and sit here and act as if they've done nothing or whatever, I guess based on, because of the circumstances, X, Y, and Z. This young generation, and I know I'm probably gonna sound like one of these old people that be like those young people or whatever, but I don't understand a lot of the younger generation, how, and I mean, okay, okay, so I guess on one hand, because I try to understand, or I try to understand different perspectives and things like that. So I'm like, okay, there is a lot that this generation has. I don't want to say this particular generation has done, but we have come to a place now where things are more technically savvy, everything like that, right? So obviously there's things that we have now that we didn't have back then, X, Y, and Z. So in that aspect, there is growth happening and everything like that. However, I think it all comes together. I don't think it's something where it's like we can now look back at the past and be like, oh, well, because we have computers, y'all was writing with pens and pencils, but we writing on, you know what I'm saying? Like, as if because we grew up with computers, our previous generations are nothing because they didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get, like, there was a process to this. You know what I'm saying? There was people, I don't know. Let me just, you know what? I'm just going to, because the more I sit here and think about it, the more I probably get upset. Because it's like, I don't understand, like, this generation and how you can sit here and just automatically, you just don't respect your elders. Like, we don't respect our elders. We, like, don't do anything when it comes to the Bible. I've seen some horrific things being done to our elder generations and things like that. And it's like, we're supposed to be honoring these people. Like, at the end of the day, and I guess I'm about to talk to the African American community at this point, because maybe there's but then, I mean, this can be across the board. I mean, unfortunately, I don't know everybody's history and story. You know, we fully don't even really know ours, to be completely honest. However, with what we know of it, I just think this generation, sometimes when we look back at the past and then we're like, oh, you know, well, these people didn't do this and they could have did this and they could have did that. At the end of the day, the fact that we're even here means that somebody survived, somebody persevered, somebody lived enough to continue the generation. So I know that there's a lot of like, so I know that the things that people praise is just very interesting to me these days, because at the end of the day, like, okay, like, here's one thing that I came across over the past few years, and this came out when the Black Panther movie came out, and everybody wanted to just spout out those quotes that the character Killmonger was saying and everything like that, and you know, like, yeah, you know, I would die before X, Y, and Z. And yeah, you know, there were slaves that rebelled, or yeah, there were slaves that, you know, they killed themselves rather than be slaves. X, Y, and Z. Okay. And yes, they did. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say and nothing against the people that did that. You know what I mean? However, I feel like there's a certain strength in those that survived versus the ones that killed themselves. I'm just like, I just feel like for us to even be here now, there is a strength of those people that survived that needs to be celebrated and appreciated. Because at the end of the day, if they didn't survive, if all of them killed themselves, then none of us would be here right now. So for any of us to sit here and act like our elders, like we can't respect the people that got us this far, is crazy to me. But I digress. Let's get to some Bible, friends, because I don't know if y'all want to sit here and act like Miracle is saying something on her own. Like she don't, like, I'm just saying something. So let me tell you what the Bible says. The fact that, and then the fact that we even had to have the commandment in Exodus 20:12 saying, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Why did that have to even be a commandment? Obviously, because God can look into these generations and see that that's going to be a problem. We can't even honor our own mothers and fathers, so let alone honor any other elder. Like, how in the world, like, so of course this has to be a commandment, especially with the generations we're looking at these days. It's like, friends, let me just go ahead and keep on going. We got Ephesians 6:1-4. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically that is just referring to that verse that I just read in Exodus, saying that children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee and thou may live long on the earth. So in this verse, it pretty much just kind of reminds us of Exodus 20:12 and tell us that this is the first commandment that comes with a promise. So, I mean, it's crazy. Like, this is just so crazy to me. Like, like I said, there's just been so many horrific things going on, and then for this person to be spouting out their rhetoric online, and then, and hyping up these other people that may agree with them and stuff like that, and just keeping this spirit of lawlessness and this spirit of like disrespect and dishonor going throughout not only our community but throughout the world right now is just beyond us. We need to get into this word here and start honoring our mothers and fathers and our elders before us, because at the end of the day, they have made it to a place that we have yet to make it. And then, to be honest, a lot of the people that are, a lot of the young people that are dying right now, they haven't even, like, you don't even have the wisdom and the capacity to even make it to the ages of these people for you to even sit here and want to disrespect and dishonor them as if their legacy and their lives don't matter. We can learn something from our previous generation, is all I'm saying. But anyway, Proverbs 23:22 says, "Listen to your father who gave you life, and do not despise your mother when she is old." I mean, what much more can we say about that, friends? I mean, but we see it, you know what, it's not, we see it across the board. We see it across the board. We see this type of mentality across the board. And it is crazy. It's so disrespectful. The person was like, a person mentioned that on that post, he was talking about his grandmother. He was like, my grandmother, is he said she's 90. That person fixed their mouth. That the person that did the original post was like, well, if she's 90, then she should be familiar with protests and X, Y, and Z. And the guy's like, yeah, she was a part of that movement. And this is the first time that she's afraid of her own people. And that person just kept on going as if, oh, well, and then that's when she starts to say the things along the lines of like, well, the previous generation failed us anyway, type of thing. And I'm like, what in the world? I don't know how old this person was. I mean, clearly I believe this person probably is younger than me. I'm in my 30s now. This person probably in their, I'm saying the way the mentality is of this person, they gotta be 18 or, between 20 and 18 or something like that, something crazy. But what I'm saying is like, I don't know. I don't know, because at the end of the day, whoever raised this person is responsible. Unfortunately, to a certain extent, because at some point, once you become a certain age, then, you take responsibility for your own actions and X, Y, and Z. But something like, that's what I was talking about the other day. Like, this whole thing, when it comes to the family and when it comes to everything like that, it's just so important. We just have a place that we haven't been in. We have a place that is of importance that we haven't been in as a people. And I'm just saying, like, across the board, all races, all whatever. Like, we need to be maintaining this whole family structure, because this is how important it is. Mothers and fathers needs to be in the home. Like, people need to be raising their children to respect their elders at the end of the day, because I mean, yeah, okay, some people they're gonna grow up and they're gonna have their mindsets and they're gonna do what they're gonna do outside of their parents and everything like that. But at the same time, when you train a child in the way they should go, they would not depart for that. I am proof. I know that a lot of people are proof of this. And so at the end of the day, as for me and my house, I know we're going to raise our son to have respect for his elders. And at the end of the day, anytime that he doesn't have respect for his elders, we're going to let him know. As far as I know, how we going to do around here. But, it's crazy. for people to sit here and have this mentality right now. But again, it's across the board, so I can't sit here and act like it's brand new or anything like that. I mean, you know, they'll say the same thing in the quote unquote world about like, oh, well, this person isn't respecting the we talk about the rap world, right, real quick, right? So they talk about, oh, well, this person is respecting the other rappers that came before them, X, Y, and Z. Well, same concept. They're not respecting the people that came before them, and then to even just be trying to bash it though. That's the thing. Like, you want to, not only do you disrespect, but then you get out there and try to bash it and share your rhetoric and try to get other people that believe the same as you, or maybe that don't believe, and then try to get them on your side as if you're right. Like, friends, all I'm saying is that, you know, there's a standard and there's something that we're supposed to be doing as believers. And those, I mean, I don't believe that person is a believer. But that's, I mean, just based on the fruit. I'm basing it on the fruit. No judgment. You know, that's no personal judgment is what I'm saying. I'm not out here just making just blank claims. I'm basing it on the fruit that she's bearing. Because people that are respectful and honor their parents wouldn't sit here and be out online talking about the previous generation failed us. But you living and breathing and probably in a house somewhere, or you probably got some type of job or some type of something going on. Like, how did you even get here and survive? Anyway, so obviously we need some type of idea of how to respect our elders. So I made a list. In case you don't know how, here are some ways that we can respect our elders, ladies and gents. How about we spend some time with them and listen to them intently? That's something that we could do. Okay, we could be polite. Okay, we could also ask for advice. We don't know everything. I mean, maybe the people that's been here some years could tell us something. Eat together, you know, that's something, fellowshipping and everything like that. Discuss your family heritage, history, and traditions. A lot of us don't even know anything about any of that. Call them. You know, we can tell them how much we appreciate and respect them. Maybe visit and volunteer some of the elderly communities or something like that. Obviously, somebody needs to be exposed to some of this stuff. Because, I mean, you know, because... just the disrespect, y'all. I'm sorry, but the disrespect is just crazy to me. So I don't know. I just hope that this encourages those of you that believe. What I hope that this does is encourage you to, you know, get with our future generations and start to either teach them or, you know, start with your home, start with your homes. But, you know, of course, you know, if you're able to be in a situation where you're going beyond your home and getting into the community and embracing some of these kids that may be in broken homes or whatever the case is, like, because we need to there just needs to be honor, respect, and everything like that when it comes to the elders. Like, this is, yeah. But anyway, the Bible verse of the day is Colossians 4:2. It says, continue in prayer and watch in the same with thanksgiving. Friends, I hope that this encourages you today. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray that you all go forth and have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, to the Lord's will. Bye-bye. If you like what you hear, then consider supporting our podcast. Every listener that supports us for $9.99 a month will be entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win a free gift. So become a supporter today.